Thank you. It's great to be here. I recently had the pleasure of experiencing a guy named Stevie Van Zandt introduce his band, the Disciples of Soul, down in Memphis. So, without trying to stack up with that, I'm just going to share with you my play toy. So I grew up on a farm, and as a kid, I had access to the great outdoors. I liked Lincoln logs and Tinker toys and erector sets and all that good stuff. They were pretty cool. But one year I received a life-size panel building kit, and it changed my life. And the reason is the kit was such that I could build a space that I could occupy. And it became the genesis of the best treehouse in town. And so toys evolved. In the spring of my 8th grade year, my dad elected to replace the stable garage with a new building. And our hired farmhand, my brother and I, deconstructed the old one. The interesting thing was the pair of sliding doors on that building were 8 feet by 8 feet square, and they became the floor panels of my first real cabin. So in my imagination, there lives a way of creating dwellings that are more affordable and accessible to all persons, a way that offers flexibility in size, complexity, and a way that they can budget and plan and actually build their own abode. So I've been building a design and build system based on structural insulated panels. And they're essentially a sandwich of rigid insulating foam between two structural skins, the most popular of which for residential construction is either expanded polystyrene or urethane between two skins of oriented strand board. My fascination is optimizing the factory output and creating a kit of parts. And so SIPs offer that because you can get a panel that's 8 feet by 24 feet, which in the previous slide was the format for essentially a tiny house on wheels. And here you see some prototypes I copied off the internet, just illustrating that modular format is critical to creating a kit of parts and optimizing manufacturing in the best way possible. So I've developed this system of a matrix, which is an 8 foot by 8 foot grid with a minor of 4 feet by 4 feet. And what's essential to understand is that not only can you reference these points to illustrate a building, you can quickly design in that format knowing that the details have been worked out and that you're optimizing the materials and that you don't have to worry about finessing dimensions and all that. As long as the walls and the component structures are on the center line of the intersections of the grid, we can work very quickly to develop schemes and budgets for a variety of sizes of projects. So this is a little scheme for sleeping pods arranged around a common space that would have the living room and kitchen and showers and things like that. And if you are on the strict conformance to a grid, it doesn't limit you to a diversity of options. It's just that you need to follow the prescribed format in order to capitalize on the efficiencies of that. Here we have a industrial strength structure that's got a steel composition to it. You can see flat packs of it in the background. These are industrial strength rectangular frameworks that can be used in a variety of situations, and they're built on an international shipping standard, the ISO. And you can see here flat packs of those frames, floor ceilings, and wall pieces in a uniform format that works with the industry standard, the international shipping standard. And here you see some patented sketches or illustrations of how those frameworks are constructed with a snap-together technology. You can see a little rubber gasket there that is kind of the key. It's a compression gasket that allows this mechanical piece to snap into place and then hold firmly. This is an illustration I did of a flat pack with 8 by 24 format of a structural insulated panel. There's 3 layers. The bottom layer is the floor. Well, it's sandwiched with the windows and doors in between. And then what happens is those panels get cut into 2 8 by 12s and 3 8 by 8s, and then they get assembled into a cabin that's 8 by 12, which is just shy of 100 square feet, which is a basic building block of a design build system. And here we have the snap together card technology that shows this mounting system where you permanently fasten one part to one piece and another part to another piece, and then you can lock them together in a toolless format. So I've developed sketches based on that. You can see the matrix in the middle of the sketch. And this option creates an opportunity to do inside and outside corners, straight lines, multiple wall intersections, etc., with this very few number of pieces. And this is the floor perimeter, which with these pultruded fiberglass extrusions, it looks complicated, but what it is an interlocking system so that you can cut these to the length that you need to use on the perimeter of your panels. So many of you know we have a homelessness crisis going on in the country, and municipalities are having to deal with encampments such as this. And ultimately, the costs in fiscal and social is unknown. So the question is, what's going to happen as this crisis continues? We do see some developments of tiny house villages. People are opting this way as opposed to being in an encampment. Obviously, that's a preferred choice. But even many of the younger people are looking at downsizing and looking at different options. So what will they have to choose from? Thank you.